There is a land where the sun rises over a horizon that never settles. As wind moves across endless sand, and time feels older than memory. This is Egypt. While now it is a land of over 115 million people, bustling with activity and commerce of our modern era. Its timeline is unique among the people of the earth. Their history stretches so far back that the ancient Egyptians were already ancient to themselves. Even Cleopatra VIII would have looked at the pyramids, built 2,500 years prior at that time, as ancient ruins, the same as how we look at the Roman ruins today. And yet still Egypt stands and it thrives. There are many reasons for this culture's staying power, but one of them is of special interest to us today. Let's discuss one of the most influential contributions to history Egypt has ever made, and how that aided in their enduring legacy. To do so, we need to go back nearly 4 millennia. Where the desert stretches outward without a land defined by heat, sand, and history. Where the desert stretches outward without mercy, and a single river, the Nile, cuts a path of life through it. Here, everything depended on balance, life and death, order and chaos, and the fragile line between them.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're doing something a little bit unique. We're breaking down the history and influence of one of the most iconic blades in history, the Egyptian Khopesh. A little bit of a look into a blade that influenced one of the most powerful nations the world has ever seen from the perspective of a bladesmith.
From the heat and sand, a civilization rose. They built monuments that would outlast generations, carved their stories into stone, and shaped a world where kings were not just rulers, but seen as living gods. Pharaohs did not simply govern, they upheld order itself. To the people of ancient Egypt, the pharaoh was the one who held the world together, the guardian of order, the voice between the gods and mankind, the rising of the sun, the flooding of the Nile, even the balance between life and death. All were thought to depend on the strength and authority of the pharaoh. To challenge a king was to challenge the order of the world itself. And to stand in their presence was seen to be standing before something not entirely human. And in the hand of the pharaoh there was a weapon that came to represent that power. It was not just carried into battle. It was carved into stone, raised high in scenes of victory, a symbol of the king's ability to bring order out of chaos. When a pharaoh held the Khopesh, it was more than a blade. It was authority, judgment, and control. A message to enemies and to their own people that the one who ruled had the power to shape the world. The Khopesh, a weapon unlike any other, curved forward, heavy at the edge, designed not just to strike, but to control. It was more than a blade. It was a symbol, seen in carvings, raised in victory, held by kings as they struck down their enemies. It represented authority and the will to impose order. But the Khopesh did not begin in Egypt. Its roots stretch further back, to lands beyond the Nile, to regions like Mesopotamia and the Levant, areas now known as Syria, Israel, and others. Their early weapons took the shape of tools, curved blades, inspired by farming sickles, heavy, simple, built to hook and pull. Over time, that idea evolved. The curve deepened, the shape refined, till Egypt took it and made it something new. To understand the Khopesh, you have to understand its time. The Bronze Age, a period defined by a discovery that would change everything. Copper mixed with tin, creating something stronger. Bronze, it allowed tools to last longer, weapons to strike harder, and civilizations to grow. But it came with limits. Bronze was strong, but not flexible. Durable, but not forgiving. So the Khopesh was not forged as we would make a blade today. It was cast. Molten bronze, poured into a mold, taking shape as it cooled. The result was thick, solid, and built to withstand impact. It relied not on fine edges, but on mass and geometry. Whereas steel is worked while hot and hardened when quenched, that is not the case with bronze. Once cast, the bronze was then hammered. Hammering metals such as bronze, even though cold, acts to work harden it, improving its ability to withstand blows as a cutting tool. Then, later polished, most were made, then set into wood, wrapped with leather, or fit with bone or ivory inlays. Today, we work differently. Steel is forged, heated, quenched, tempered. We shape the internal structure, control hardness, balance strength and flexibility. We can make blades thinner, faster, more precise. But the Khopesh had none of those advantages. So instead, it relied on design. And that design is what makes it unique. Its hook casts aside shields, pulls targets into the strike. The weight of the blade drives the blow deeper like an axe. The forward curve concentrates the blow. It is not a passive, nimble weapon. It commits with every strike to cause devastating damage. While it acts as a blending between axe and sword, it's proven to be more versatile than both. And in Egypt, that design became power. Pharaohs were carved into stone, holding the Khopesh high, striking down their enemies, not just as warriors, but as protectors of order. The weapon became identity, a symbol that said, "This is who holds control." On the battlefield, it was practical. It could hook a shield, pull it aside, and strike in one motion. It could break balance, control movement, and deliver heavy blows. It was not elegant. It was effective, built for close combat, for chaos, for moments where control meant survival. The Khopesh may belong to the ancient world, but its legacy hasn't faded. It represents one of the earliest moments where weapon design truly evolved to match purpose where form followed. Function in a way that still defines blade making today. Even now, every curved blade, every forward-weighted chopper carries a bit of that same thinking. As bladesmiths, we're still solving the same problems. Durability, performance, just with better tools and materials. And even thousands of years later, the traditional way of making blades such as this are still alive and well, showing that it was never lost, even with modern technology. The Khopesh reminds us that innovation isn't new. It's just been refined over thousands of years. So the question isn't whether it still matters. It's whether we recognize how much of it we're still using. Thanks for watching, and let me know what blade should we bring to life next.